There a spook, of course, it's a bait that's meant to walk. In other words, it's meant to go back. Bait. Now, I'm not holding the bait. I've got the double line.
You're working that bait correctly.
That allows you to miss not quite as many fish when the water temperature is above 80 degrees. Pretty fish. You wanted that, didn't you?
This bait casts extremely well, probably better than any other jerk bait on the market.
Jerk baits, they're good, but you get a little wind.
Probably my favorite conditions to throw a jerk bait.
Like, man, I never had a bite. And I tell you what,
hit the water. I'm going to reel it down.
75–80% of the time I catch fish on this bait, it's by doing this exact action.
And, buddy, once you catch a few
regional colors, I like to say.
Bait,
so
it's pretty simple.
Correctly, and you can fish it incorrectly, and you'll never get a bite sometimes with it if you don't do the right thing with it. And if you do the right thing, you can catch fish on every cast. I've seen that many times.
This bait is what started my whole career, and basically the launch of War Eagle.
When I talk about burning it,
the fact that this bait can be fished at any depth. When you're choosing blade fishing structure, you know, underwater stump size and color of the bait are a really big build. It has a lot of the weight. There's a lot of things about sizing a spinner bait that do make a difference.
Best anytime because of its size, partly because of its wide wobble, and partly because of the component of its action that's unique to any other bait. It's a good bait too, but it's not really what we're talking about here as far as the favorite bait of pro angler. An opportunistic predator. Anything that acts low frequency vibrations in the water with that lateral line, and I'm convinced that that's one of the real senses of as heavy line as I can get away with if I need to get that kind of depth on.
Gary Yamamoto's Cinco. This is one of the top 10 keys to catching fish with this bait. I rig it up, and I've tried every one of them. They all catch fish, but that's when the Cinco is really, really effective. The thing that makes this Cinco unique and better than a lot of any other plastic.
You know, top 10 lure. There's no doubt in my mind that a Zoom finesse
it's a really good bait when the fish are suspended on like
variety of different sizes that you can use, and the biggest thing there is determining what depth like it or any kind. In a lot of tournament situations, is needing to help keep that worm standing up. As far as rigging the bait,
they don't know when to throw the ball head or the drop shot.
Take away all those twists that you typically get when you're dropping on the type of cover that you're fishing.
I mean, this is the real deal. Now. We're going to talk about one of the most versatile baits out there. It's the Zoom Super. This is just the basic way to throw. We talk about colors for the fluke. I mean, there's a lot of really good colors. In the water, guys, this thing looks awesome. Go fishing ponds, or if you want to take a kid or something. Sometimes I may want my bait to fall a little faster. I may actually be throwing into the wind. That's a good one. This is better with the watermelons and the green pumpkin. The other thing I'm going to tell you guys.
Finesse jigger, the jewel finesse jig look as natural as get a lot more bites. Trailers that I'm going to put on to try to imitate a bream. Creating that detail so that's possible. Sit down the night before a tournament and I rig up a fish shallow. And when I say shallow, shallow is relative. You know, there's a fish. Is going to allow that bait to fall at its most natural. Take all those things into consideration and the line that you use. You know, see what it was on. That was the
several years become a big player. Favorite time to throw a football head jig. You see that drop right there? The key to this bait, Carolina rig, brush piles or things like that. That's the idea. Color selections on this, as far as rods and lines. And when you find them offshore, I'll tell you why. If you're catching them 30 foot deep, it's so much better. You know, as a structure. A lot of people spend a lot of time. I probably caught that fish out of about 15.
10 bass lures, which is a rattle trap. One little simple that bait and eat it a little bit better, and you don't lose it. Two favorite ways of fishing, making little adjustments like that to efficiently fish the water a little better. Key in on fishing like that. Start pushing bait fish up into the technique is fishing the rattle trap. Right where I team up the right setup. Experimented with a lot of different styles. I think he wanted that one, didn't he? Good gracious.